Hi, I'm homosexual Bryan Safi.
And I'm feminasty Erin Gibson.
And this is Latitudes.
Gender issues.
Longitudes.
Latitudes.
And
wait, so we do latitudes and latitudes?
We do latitudes, longitudes, latitudes, platitudes. Can you handle it?
Oh, hello. Sorry, I've just space traveled. I'm back. Well, so, I got released from the Saw basement.
I know, I can tell.
Yeah, but
either
then
that or he got
gave
you an
me
entirely new shelving system and wardrobe.
Well, no, what happened was he said, you get to go home now. And I was like, oh, that's great. And then he said, put me on a bus. But then the person who picked me up was his sister.
Oh, shit.
And so she did a replica of my closet.
Wow.
So I'm actually at her place now.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, you know what? At least they tried to bring you some creature comforts.
Well, I said, how nice of you, how hospitable of you to recreate my home environment.
Did you see Longlegs? You won't.
Longlegs, mine?
No.
The personal ones I own
The
on my
horror
body?
movie with Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage.
No, but I've heard about it. Did you just recently see it?
I did. Well, I saw like the weekend it came
People
out.
say it's the scariest thing in the world.
It's really not that scary. It was good though, but it's not. I wouldn't.
Are
say
you
it's
calling
like,
everyone a liar?
Yes. I mean, a lot of it is LOL, to be honest.
Because it's like fake, fake what?
There's a lot of dolls involved.
Well, you're talking about
there's
language.
wigs. There's
Because isn't he playing a woman?
No, but he's playing. You don't know.
Does this get into transphobia or no?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
He's just playing.
It's not Buffalo Bill.
No, I believe he is. No, this person's not trans. Just really, this is just a. No, this person doesn't identify ever. Maybe they do identify. I don't know.
Now, can I ask a question? Who has the long legs?
It's only referred to once, and that's when Nicolas Cage says to somebody, "Want to see my long legs?" Otherwise, it's not that. I mean, it's basically watching, I don't know, Vicky Gunvalson meets Rocky from Mask meets hints of Drew Barrymore.
Now, I have a question. Is part of the horror that he has long legs and therefore he can't find a pant and seem to fit him?
No, long legs don't matter at all. No, it's not a shopping nightmare story.
Okay.
Which, of course, I love.
So what's just spoiler alert, because I'm never going to see this
It's a serial
movie.
killer, pentagram, devilish, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Devil Wears Murder.
Micah Monroe can see things, hear things. She's an FBI agent. So is Blair Underwood. It's a very sexy staff.
It sounds like Silence of the Lambs.
I mean, it's sort of similar, but not really. Like the tone is different. And, but it is, yes, she is, I would say she is the most preeminent FBI agent female since Clarice from Silence of the Lambs. So I will say that.
So this is either an indictment of people don't have imaginations or we have a dearth of FBI female movies.
And similarly, behind the scenes, Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins never met until they would only talk in that scene, that big interrogation scene they have together that's like 10 minutes long. But they didn't talk otherwise. To add to the sort of thing of being scared of each other kind of thing.
Yeah. So then when they would go to craft services, they would just ignore each other.
They would just ignore each other.
For lunch, yeah.
Right. Micah Monroe similarly did not want, or the director didn't want her to see Nicolas Cage at all before the first interrogation scene they had together. And Micah Monroe said, and of course I walked in and it looks nothing like Nicolas Cage and it's just a very chilling image. I have to tell you, if it would have been me, I would have walked in and started laughing.
I would have been in hysterics.
I would have died laughing. Like I wouldn't have been chilled.
Because you're not in the movie, you're on a film set. It's different. There's like, someone with clappers. There's a person who's got props going, does she have a wedding room? Does she not have a wedding room?
Cage under there who's eccentric. And so you're just like, oh, wow, he really went far this time.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say this. Guess who it's directed by?
The same person who did Silence of the Lambs.
His name's Osgood Perkins, son of Anthony Perkins, who was the star of Psycho.
Okay.
And who Osgood Perkins himself starred in Legally Blonde. as like the nerdy guy in law school who like kind of had an answer for everything, and he wore glasses and he was the nerd. That's who directed this.
Yes. Oh, he does a lot of horror stuff.
Yeah.
Psycho 2, Hansel and Gretel.
Yes.
Longlegs. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about it. It came out like a month ago, but
you saw it, and it's haunting you, apparently.
it's piquing me.
It's
Do you
peaking.
understand?
Oh, you activated by this move?
Can I tell you what's really haunting me?
Yeah.
George Michael's long lost recipe for lasagna. Have you heard about this?
Why? Also, isn't he Greek? That's not very Greek of him.
Someone on Instagram. I think he's Armenian, isn't he?
No, George Michael's Greek, I thought.
George Michael. Someone had a vision when they were younger on Instagram that they had seen a George Michael recipe for lasagna somewhere, but then would Google it, couldn't find
Like
it.
Teen Beat or something?
Right. And then one day found it, like finally found it. And one of our listeners sent me it because they were like, this seems right up your alley. Because as we all know, I love the Aretha Franklin salad and the Patti LaBelle rainbow macaroni and cheese. Well, would you like to know the ingredients for this lasagna?
Yeah. And what publication was it in?
Unclear.
Okay.
One that had purple font.
So I'm going to go ahead and say Teen Beat. But anyway.
Now let's see if I can share my screen. without
Because
it going
that's some
all to hell.
sexist shit from the 80s where they'd be like, A, covet this gay man who's in the closet. B,
Sure.
don't you want to learn how to cook early? And C, can we get this sex symbol to make you do it?
Correct. So this is the quote. I'm crazy about lasagna and I make my own with the nicest thing in the world.
What is the nicest thing?
I'm about to tell you. I don't get a lot of time to cook, but when I do, it's always worth the effort. It makes such a change from restaurants.
What is this?
Relatable
Is written
thing to
by
say.
somebody else and they just put it in front
For
of him.
sure.
This is like a bill.
Here's the ingredients. 1 pound lasagna noodles, or, pasta. Great.
Yeah.
1/2 pound mozzarella cheese, cooked Italian sausage, 2 hard-boiled eggs,
No.
Okay.
Nope. This is you.
2 ounce freshly grated Parmesan cheese, 1/2 pound ricotta cheese, a jar of tomato sauce or puree, butter, and are you ready for the last ingredient?
Mm-hmm.
1/2 a jar of mayonnaise.
Please don't tell. I do kind of always into the room. I kind of want to tell him. Do you want to hear his reaction?
Yes.
Ale.
Listeners,
Ale.
1/2 a jar
Hey, Ale.
of mayonnaise.
He's coming. You have to, I need you to react on the show. Yeah.
Yes, we need you to live
Okay,
react.
so here, you're going to,
I can't
Brian's
believe
going
I'm
to
gonna
tell you what the lasagna,
Hey, Brian.
Hi.
this is the lasagna recipe for George Michael.
Oh, geez.
Thrilled to
Okay.
see you as always. So George Michael's long lost lasagna recipe has been found. He published this in some magazine.
Okay.
Are you ready?
All right, here we go.
I'll list the ingredients to you. Okay, 1 pound of lasagna pasta,
Wow. Makes a lot.
half pound mozzarella cheese,
Okay.
1/2 pound cooked Italian sausage,
Okay.
2 hard boiled eggs,
Okay.
2 ounces freshly grated Parmesan, 1/2 pound of ricotta, a jar of tomato sauce or puree, butter, and the last ingredient, 1/2 a jar of mayonnaise.
Oh. Why would this was like found, right? He didn't share this. Like
No,
there's-
he shared this.
Oh
no,
my-
this was published in a magazine.
How does,
In, like, the 80s.
I mean, I think every single Italian would just be like, "Ma no, ma non è possibile." You know what I mean? It's just, you've seen them online, the Italians reacting to recipes. It's the mayonnaise. I mean, there's a lot of things in there that don't work.
Add
the
up.
eggs. I mean,
Very
that's
odd.
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't,
And then, guess, I meant to tell you this. Guess what he serves it with?
Jello.
A side of French fries.
Oh, I mean, George Michael was like ripped. Like, was this like his cheat day?
It had to
meal?
have been.
Yeah.
It had to have been.
Okay. There's
Horrifying.
no way he was eating this regularly. Okay.
I just wanted to get your Italian reaction
All right.
to that because no one responds to food ingredients like Italians.
I mean, that's.
You kept it together for actually too long.
Aaron.
You asked
There were
me.
a lot of things that were upsetting, but I knew there was something coming. So, all right. Well, thank you, Brian.
Thank you. So basically what you do is you layer the ricotta, the Parmesan, a layer of mayo, and then a noodle, and then the tomato sauce, whatever, you repeat. Did you hear what he serves on the side?
No, Jell-O? Is that what it was?
No, you ready?
No.
Should there be leftovers, you can add more mayonnaise on reheating to keep it moist.
This is not how George Michael speaks. I refuse to believe this is how he writes.
And this dish is extremely tasty, served with French fries.
This is upset. This is a child's version.
Horrifying. Yeah. So anyway.
Is there cooking
that to me is
yes.
the British side of him with all that mayo.
Yes, but also... but also, it's not like there's no Italians in England.
I know. It's really shocking. It really is.
But they do. But when we used to go to London, which does it even exist anymore? I don't know.
Honestly.
When we used to go over there, I remember reading the newspaper. What was it? Is it the Times of London? Is that their newspaper?
You're one of them, yeah.
Okay. Reading it in the hotel and looking at the recipes and going, how are they living here?
Yeah.
He serves it over French fries like poutine?
No, side of French fries.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And to remind everyone, the way Aretha Franklin says she lost all her weight is on the Aretha Franklin summer place salad, which she says serves 2 to 410.
Depending if you want to put your back into it or not.
Right. It has lettuce, tomatoes, onion, 6 slices of canned peaches in syrup, raisins, cashews, chicken breasts, lemon, mayonnaise, ketchup, garlic powder, salt, and pepper.
I dare someone to do it. I dare someone to make it.
I love famous people recipes. I really do.
This is why they have to have private chefs.
This is honestly, I'm sure there is a cooking
so their
with
teeth
the
don't
Stars
fall
cookbook. Well, Erin, if you really love your man, your welcome home present to Ale is to make him the Aretha Franklin salad, the George Michael lasagna, and a side of French fries.
I can't. I'll absolutely get thrown out of this house. But I do think, now do you aspire to be so wealthy and famous that you can be like, oh, what do I eat on a Friday night? Well, I take candy corns and crush them up, and I plop a steak in there. I put it on the oven at 700 degrees.
We forget that so many famous people became famous very young.
Well, that's the thing.
So
George Michael, yeah, he did.
Wham! I mean, he was probably a teenager.
Yeah. Did you watch the documentary? Because I fully did, and I remember nothing about it.
I didn't, but I don't remember anything. I've been watching this book on the There we go. See, I've been watching a book on the Byzantine Empire, and I don't understand one thing that's happened yet, and I couldn't tell you one thing about it.
Yeah.
You know,
I blame social media.
Yeah.
I can't focus.
I get it. How are you? Are you happy to be home?
I am happy to be home. I do feel like I'm on drugs. I have, to be clear, I have lived at my house with my family for 3 days this year.
Unbelievable.
It is August 6th. I know I present as if everything's so cool and everything's all right. Okay.
You definitely do. Yeah. You're always sunglasses tipped.
Always.
Walking
everything
around the
rolls
streets
off
with
my
Joe
back.
Camel. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many Joe Camels.
Yep.
But I've been on an oil barge.
Yeah, you've got those clam diggers on, honey.
I've been around this world, and I miss having more than one drawer of underwear.
Can we talk about
not one drawer? You know what I mean? I had 5 pairs of underwear. I've been wearing the same 5 pairs of underwear since January.
Wow.
They get washed.
That's good. Oh my God.
But you should really have 8 if we're being honest.
Someone has been leaving something in the garage of my condo. And I have to tell you.
Wait, near your car?
Sort of, yeah. On a table near my car.
Okay.
They've been leaving old issues of Consumer Reports. When I tell you I ravage these.
Tell me about the product.
They've gone all
by the way,
on just being
this is not your bonus episode, I don't know what is.
Hang on a second. Honestly, fuck, it should be. Instead, I watched Goddamn Murder, She Wrote, which, by the way, is another one and done, just so everyone's aware. Okay?
We should change it to one and done.
We should really honestly, we should change it to one and done. Because I got to tell you, we've been calling it Bryan's blessings, and so far it's been a curse.
Yeah.
Because here's the problem.
Bryan's burden.
I have to tell you something about Murder, She Wrote. Lovely show, relaxing to watch. Here's the problem with scripted mysteries, and you probably ran into this with Columbo. It gets really complicated at a certain point.
You're like, there's a twist because you have to fill time.
Right. And plus she's honestly, the one good thing is you've never seen someone wear such an amount of rouge. It's on her cheeks. It's on her jaw. It's on her neck.
Does she do the thing in the 80s where they go all the way up like here?
Yes.
Just like past the eyebrow? Yeah.
Yes. I've never seen so much rouge there's rouge covering every square inch of this woman's face. But Rue McClanahan does star in this episode. She guest stars, which is very exciting.
Great. She plays sexy lady?
As does Linda Blair from The Exorcist.
This is great.
Herself. So that was nice. And also, I don't know. There's some fun things about it. Like the recap will be very fun, so don't worry, everybody. But it was definitely one and done.
Not worth the calories, as they say on, as Pruleith says.
Don't say that to George Michael's lasagna.
Definitely not worth the calories.
Franklin salad. Yeah,
not worth the calories. Not worth the effort.
10. Yeah. No.
Not worth the effort. Wait, are you going to grab this Consumer Report or is this just a cock cheese? Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
But you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it as a thing if you'd rather do it that way. Would you rather do it as a thing? As a bonus?
No, I mean, there's a new issue every week.
Okay, great.
By the way, ready for this? This is the first.
Let's wet everybody's whistles.
You get a prescription of the magazine, and then if you want online subscription, you can get a subscription of the magazine, and then if you want online access, it's an additional $25.
Well, why wouldn't you just do online? A month? $25 a month?
I believe so.
Someone needs to tell them about Wirecutter.
By the way, that's what I'm saying. They talked about, one of the big articles in Consumer Reports in this latest issue.
Are these recent?
Yeah. One of the articles I read in it last night, because I did that instead of my Byzantine book. One of the articles was how to stream television shows. And one lady said, I never thought I could do. Someone wrote a letter to the editor because I guess that was in the issue before. And she goes, never in a million years did I think I'd be capable of figuring this out. Your step-by-step guide has changed my life. Now I call my grandkids and tell them I'm watching Netflix. One lady said she wrote in and said, now I watch Pluto every goddamn minute. Pluto.
What's Pluto?
Pluto TV. It's an app, apparently. You can watch stuff on it.
I have questions about this woman who's like, I call my grandchildren and say I'm watching Netflix. Why didn't they show you how to do it?
Lazy. They're lazy screen addicts. That's the problem. Lazy. Okay, let me get this magazine. 1 second.
Oh, I can't wait. I didn't think these were recent. I thought these were like from the 80s. You know, Bryan, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If this isn't a podcast for people over 50, I don't know what is.
7 anti-aging supplements to try.
Okay. You're just proving my case.
Oh, but they do have helpful information. For instance, one of the things I learned was you should always get like your dishwasher, refrigerator, and washer dryer repaired up to 6 times before you consider buying a new one. That it's way
6.
cheaper to have it repaired. Yeah.
Okay.
And your washer and dryer will probably actually never break down, is also what I heard. That when they say they don't make it like they used to, washer and dryers are actually an exception to that.
Okay.
Especially the washer. So that's useful.
This is useful.
One point that was...
What are the anti-aging things?
Okay. Well,
turn back time?
Do you want me to tell you that people were really upset that in July's Stay Cool, even in extreme heat issues, that article did not mention ceiling fans? People were pissed. And so the editor wrote back and said, I'm so sorry I didn't mention they are an efficient option that can help you feel up to 4 degrees cooler. That's not.
So that sounds like a read to me.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry. They will help you, bitch, if you'd like to be cooler by 4 degrees. Or you can follow my fucking rules.
Another article in the July issue was, do you really need to tip them?
This is boomer pubs.
Complete boomer pubs. I'm obsessed with it. Okay, so here are the 7. And they talked about, by the way, I have their number 1 recommended pillow, but that's because I saw it number 1 recommended on Wirecutter.
Is it the shredded foam?
Yes, exactly. Okay, the first supplement you should take, calcium with D3.
Well, I already take all that.
You're the one who asked. You think I didn't even mention bringing up this article, and you're the one who wanted to know, okay? Number one, calcium. They recommend taking the Kirkland Signature brand because it doesn't have any contaminants. After that, they recommend Nature's Made, which is like the classic yellow bottle.
I don't like either of those brands, but anyway.
Collagen is number two. They recommend.
Oh, how? Because collagen tastes like foot to me.
So they recommend, if you take it in pill form, Walgreens Ultra Collagen with vitamin C.
Okay.
If you take it in powder, Garden of Life grass-fed collagen. Then they recommend fish oil, but really they don't recommend it for everyone. It's only like if you're at a certain age or whatever. They recommend magnesium, but not too much because diarrhea. And then they recommend vitamin B12, but also it's if you take a multivitamin, you don't need it. And then they recommend vitamin D, which...
Vitamin Dick?
Exactly, baby. The three supplements they say to skip, vitamin C, probiotics, and glucosamine. And don't ever take something called Prevagen.
Prevagen? What the hell is that?
Well, according to them, we see it advertised everywhere.
I've never heard of it in my life.
Not once. You've seen ads for Prevagen, a supplement with a protein derived from jellyfish, claiming it will improve age-related memory loss. It's absolute bullshit. And by the way, St. John's wort interacts with everything. And the refrigerators that last the longest are the ones with bottom freezers.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. And the French door ones are usually last the least amount.
But they didn't back it up. They were just like, trust us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, next week, can we get a full next bonus episode? Can we get a full, like, this is actually might be considered stealing what you're doing.
But I'm crediting them. Also, they say that...
Would you like to go behind a paywall to listen to Bryan read a Consumer Report? This is a show for you.
Also, they give you great deals on portable generators. And if you're thinking of getting the Audi A6, get the Lexus ES instead.
Now, who needs a portable generator and an Audi?
Great question. Honestly.
Who is
this for?
Who's there reading? Don't take Precagen or whatever it's called. Prevagen.
Yeah.
If you're looking for an Audi, get a Lexus, and maybe you need a generator. Off the grid, rich boomers?
Can you use eggs that are past their expiration date? To keep eggs is... Okay, whatever. The point is you can, and if you really want to test it, put an uncracked egg in a bowl.
Oh, yeah, if it floats.
If it sinks and lies flat, it's fresh. If it stands upright, it's older, but still safe to use. And if it floats, it's really old. You should probably get rid of it.
Yeah.
But an egg will not develop bacteria unless it already has bacteria in it when you buy it, basically.
So really, eggs are forever.
Anyway, Murder, She Wrote is...
How?
I don't even... Was 1 second of today funny so far? Or just
no, but I think we should go with it. This is our new brand.
Good. So anyway, neighbor who uses Consumer Reports, I don't know how you're voting.
Why are they putting it on the table instead of recycling it? They think someone else will get some use out of it?
Guess what? Guess who was right?
Them.
Yeah. Go to Patreon.
You came back from New York and you were like, God, I need something to freshen my life up. And there it was on a card table.
Exactly. You think I'm kidding? I'm absolutely not kidding.
I don't think you're kidding at all.
Listen, we have a lot of exciting stuff
we've
happening.
Sorry, I talked over you. We've got so much exciting stuff. Murder, She Wrote with Linda Blair.
Murder, She Wrote with, honestly, Erin.
Rouge? I can't wait for the Rouge.
This really is becoming Parade Magazine. I'm talking about Consumer Reports. I'm talking about Angela Lansbury and Murder, She Wrote. Like, what the actual fuck's happening? I gotta talk about, like...
Well, I'm avoiding... I don't... Listen, everyone's talking about politics right now, and I refuse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. From the vault this week on Patreon, we have our first ever guest. Guy Branum.
Yeah.
How about that? Erin, you talk about the German who made you watch Girls Gone Wild while eating a charcuterie
I remember
board.
that guy, yeah.
Plus, I have an
hotel management in Houston.
Plus, I have an anti-drug campaign in the vault episode that it's do drugs once, and if you like it, don't do it again.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, keep doing it.
Correct. Jessica Fletcher's on a bus to Boston in this week's Brian's Blessings when someone's murdered. So many cameos. musical scores that are reminiscent of Willy Wonka, the Gene Wilder one, and Psycho. Also, you can find us on YouTube. You can get a peek at all our video episodes every week by searching Attitudes Pod. We have our Q&As on the Patreon. We have watch parties on Discord. So please get over there. Patreon.com.
Should we get into some shoes?
Let's do it. Now, listen, we've talked about Valentina before, and not the one who said, iconically, I'd like to keep it on, please.
Oh, okay.
Not that Valentina.
Which Valentina?
Valentina Gomez, the person who's running today for Republican Missouri Secretary of State. We'll know tomorrow whether she has become the nominee from the primary. So she's at it again, dropping what he did. He said he would denounce it, but here's what he did. This was his statement. Different beliefs shouldn't divide us. This issue touches dinner tables across America. I choose respect, peace, and the chance to embrace my loved ones, putting family above politics and any appointed position.
But your sister's not doing that. Anyway, go ahead.
This woman is literally saying that people are weak and gay and also dropping F-bombs everywhere and also calling people groomers and also calling, any gender-affirming care gender mutilation. She's a fucked up person. And what you should be saying is all of that is lies and horrible, and no one should be talking about hate. Instead of saying, like, this is dinner table talk. No, honey. Dinner table talk is whether or not you want to pay your fucking taxes. Okay? He goes on to say, I do not and will never discriminate against any human being. I'm an Olympic swimmer, a graduate of Columbia University, and have been loyally serving the people of Jersey City for over 6 years. What does that have to do with anything?
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm an Olympic swimmer. I went to Columbia.
Wait, is he an Olympic swimmer?
I guess he was at some point.
He went to the Olympics, or he's at an Olympics level?
Was Jonathan Noriega actually?
So who's it? Is she? Yeah,
an Olympian. Okay.
Like, I'm really sorry, but when people on the right say stuff,
So he did, yes. He competed,
okay.
It seems like, in possibly? Now it's unclear. Now it's even more unclear. Yeah, I don't know. In his bio, it says Olympic swimmer.
Okay.
So I guess he was? Which, congratulations. He was a medalist. Wow. I believe in Rio. Let's see. I guess I should have looked this up. Well, you know what? That's impressive. That doesn't mean you're a good person.
I can move through water.
Yeah. So he won a medal in Rio. He represented Colombia in the 200-meter butterfly.
What a shame that he is not only not being supported by his sister. Oh, here's a picture of him in a bathing suit.
And by the way, at one point he defeated Michael Phelps. I mean, he clearly is very talented.
Yeah. But then to let your sister do that to you.
I know. No, it doesn't fucking matter. By the way, you're someone who consistently beats the odds. You grew up in a gay family, or in a family where at least you had a homophobic sister, in a sport where you really excelled in. Like, you're on an LGBTQ plus task force. Why are you on there if not to combat hate? Honey, why did you take this job?
Honey, did you not take to the water so you could escape your family?
Exactly. Honey, you need to keep swimming. You're not swimming hard enough, girl.
Yeah.
You're just not. So anyway, he says political differences should not destroy families. Now, that has nothing to do with denouncing your sister. In fact, it's the opposite. In fact, it's saying, I love my sister so much that I have no problem at all with what she says. You can love your fucking sister and take issue with something. Please, my brother and I have gotten in screaming matches. My sister and I, same thing, about shit people say that is wrong. Okay? Including myself.
But he's basically saying, I'm willing to let my sister spew hatred towards me and do nothing and say nothing about it because she's my sibling. Whereas the rules do not apply to her equally.
Right. There can be exceptions to this shit. Look at Trump's nieces and nephews. They have no loyalty.
Yeah.
Anyway, Valentina, I really hope you lost today. I can't imagine you actually being the Secretary of State of New Jersey. They deserve better. than that, and actually this last season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Erin, I don't know if you heard about The Last Supper.
No. Would you want to tell me about it?
Margaret shined for sure. Teresa was an animal. Jennifer was an animal.
Margaret Shine is her name?
No. She was
she's shown.
She and Dolo were the only shining stars. That's right.
Okay.
Everyone, and Danielle, I'll say that. Everyone else looked like a total fool.
Because they were drunk. Did the table get turned over?
Practically, yeah. I mean, there were drinks and milk thrown on a Birkin. And I will also say this.
Milk at a dinner party?
It looked milky. Maybe it was like an espresso martini.
A White Russian?
Yeah, might have been. At Rail Steakhouse, the steakhouse overlooking a train.
In what state?
New Jersey.
Okay.
So anyway, the entire thing's been a huge letdown, and they ended up cutting the season short to only 13 episodes because everyone behaved so badly, and they didn't even get a reunion. So the rumor is they're all going to.
I thought the whole premise was that they needed bad behavior.
It's true, but they also need. Housewives works best when mostly they get along and a couple people don't. And in this case, none of them.
Everyone hated each other.
But Margaret did a great job when Teresa had everyone over because she was going to expose something about Margaret. And Margaret sent over a funeral arrangement saying, "I'm so sorry for your loss of dignity." Terrific.
You should send that to Valentina.
You know what? If anyone wants to pitch in with me, I'll do it. Because I can't.
See if anybody will deliver it to her house. That's the problem.
Exactly. So sorry for loss. The problem is she'll sue me. But for what? I don't know.
Unlawful delivery of flowers.
I'll send her the Valentina mask and a lip sync challenge from Nina Bonina Brown and the flowers saying, "I'm sorry."
By the way, my new favorite thing is sending someone beautiful arrangement of flowers with a shitty ass note.
I'm in. You know what? That's going to be our new thing. I'm in on that.
The Olympics, Bryan.
I know.
The
Have you been
Olympics.
watching?
Yes. What's your fondest memory of the Olympics growing up?
Greg Louganis, for sure, was my fondest memory. I had such a crush on him. He was my first autograph, too, of a famous person.
Where'd you get his autograph?
He came to the Sunland Park Mall in El Paso.
After the Olympics?
Yeah, after he won that gold.
That was how you did it back then, because there was no internet.
Right. You did mall tours like Tiffany.
Like Tiffany. That's how she became famous. Malls.
I loved watching swimming and diving when I was a kid. Those were my favorites.
Yeah, gymnastics.
And gymnastics, for sure.
And I liked fucking track and field.
Yeah, honestly, Summer Olympics is fun all around.
I love Summer Olympics. My aunt used to manage a CSX lodge. CSX was a railroad company.
Oh,
and it was
did she
lodge.
Have a steakhouse there?
She didn't have a steakhouse.
Okay.
But it was a crazy big lodge with like dorms and stuff in it.
Cool.
And in 92, we all went there, and my cousins and I watched, just watched Olympics all day and had fun and joked around. It was fantastic.
Do you know that in 2028, the Olympics are in LA?
Yes.
Do you know where they're holding the softball and canoeing? Oklahoma.
Why?
No clue.
We have water.
I know.
It's called the Pacific Ocean.
And
Look into
softball fields. Yeah, they're doing it in Oklahoma.
That's bizarre.
I know.
How bizarre.
Right. Yes.
That song?
Yeah.
Are you over 50? You love this podcast. I love the Summer Olympics despite, but here's not despite. I love the Summer Olympics, and it's a shame what's happening in female boxing right now. So if you haven't heard, there's an Olympic female boxer, Imane Khelif of Algeria, and then another one, Lin Yuting of Taiwan, and they should be celebrating their wins, but instead they are navigating a shitstorm of sexist, anti-trans, hateful rhetoric. Absolutely fueled.
Disgusting. Bottom of the barrel behavior.
Bottom shit.
Yeah.
Bottom of the barrel. Bottom feeder internet troll. Fueled by ignorance and magnified by social media. And of course, the same players are involved. Just kidding, Rowling, Elon Musk, Donald Trump. Same.
Elon Musk, by the way, recently, of course, has essentially disowned his trans daughter who hates his guts. And he continues to name call her.
Yeah. Dead name.
Misgendering her, dead naming, calling her a communist. And also, this is the sort of parent he is. when someone said, well, how do you feel being estranged from one of your children? He said, can't win them all.
He doesn't. He
He's
only wants to
psycho.
have many versions of himself.
Yes.
They're not individuals to him.
Exactly.
They're an extension of
Imagine
himself.
saying that about one of your kids who's mad at you. Can't win them all.
Disgusting.
Gross.
Well, Grimes is on her side, so
I love Grimes.
as long as Grimes. But Grimes, what was the
I'm
original?
talking about the song Oblivion. I love
Okay,
that
all right.
song. It's beautiful.
Everyone makes mistakes, but I remember when they were together, I thought, I don't.
What the fuck is going on?
My friend was showing me the videos of him dancing, and she said it was like as if an alien had just got into human skin.
Remember when he was kicked out of that sex club in Berlin?
Yeah.
So good. And then he bought
As he
Twitter
should.
that night.
That to me
That's
that's a
real.
drug. That's a drug bender for me.
Absolutely.
So what happened was some reports resurfaced that these two female boxers had been disqualified by the Russian-led International Boxing Association, the IBA, from last year's Women's World Boxing Championships. The org said that they had failed some stupid fucking unspecified gender test that they gave them and found that they had male chromosomes. The fact that anybody uses science to be like, we're not a binary species is the dumbest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And these tests are often fucking not accurate. And I'm going to talk about the history of these tests, but, the organization, the International Boxing Association, has been banned from the Olympics, but that doesn't mean that these tests aren't out there. And now they've resurfaced. Also highly suspicious that the Russian org pulled these reports.
Don't they have ties with the Kremlin, this organization?
Oh yeah. The guy who runs it is like best friends with fucking,
Putin.
So they pulled these reports or these gender tests when Khelif destroyed the only Russian boxer in the competition and broke the women's winning streak.
Right.
That is emoji, monocle, suspicious hand on chin placement.
Absolutely. One of my favorites, by the way.
That's just send that to someone out of context and see how they just shit their pants.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Let's talk about gender testing in sports. Started in 1966 in the European Track and Field Championships, where female athletes were required to walk nude or almost nude before the judges.
That can't be real.
Yeah.
Holy.
That's where it all started. Then they developed these shitty chromosome tests which were less sexual assaulty, but still shitty. And then they did some sort of gender testing until 1999. When the IOC Athletes Commission called for the test to stop, and they did in Sydney. Dr. Myron Ganell, I think that's how you pronounce this person's last name, Genel, who's a pediatric endocrinologist at Yale, published this on the topic. The good doctor said, in reality, gender verification tests are difficult, expensive, and potentially inaccurate. Furthermore, these tests fail to exclude all potential imposters, are discriminatory against women with disorders of sexual development, and may have shattering consequences for athletes who fail a test.
Of course.
Agree. This is a doctor's opinion, a doctor of endocrinology, someone who knows, someone who gets it, saying we should not be using these. The IOC called the International Boxing Association's test not legitimate. So at least they're standing up for these boxers.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah.
And they've labeled the commentary that has come along with it hate speech. Good.
Yeah.
Good. I
think it's honestly really snobby and like know-it-all for someone to be an end of chronology, because you don't know when time's going to end. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The end of chronology.
I think that's really like
real know-it-all.
I think it's conceited.
Real know-it-all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
Nobody
but I also don't agree with you.
That's okay. I'll take it.
I'm right in the middle on this one.
That's fine.
So these tests primarily
That's why you're
focus-
voting for RFK, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A man who finds a dead bear on the
That
side of the
is
street?
I think that's worse than Mitt Romney putting a dog on his roof. It is one of the most upsetting
What
stories.
is wrong with these men?
No, too
Listen,
rich. I
I
think
know
too
the term
rich.
re-education camp has a lot of negative connotations, but I do think
These guys got to go back to school.
these guys need to go back to school, Rodney Dangerfield style, learn some fucking how to be a human being.
Right.
And that she married him.
She's heard that story before, too. I promise.
And she stayed.
Yeah.
She's heard it before and she stays. Anyway, that's on her. I guess you're getting to go to fucking whatever, Kenny Bunkport.
Yeah.
So
there are
good for you.
Jonathan Gomez's in all of us, apparently.
Yes. There's a Jonathan Gomez inside of all of us. These tests also obviously, no duh, primarily focus on women, which is sexist. The implication being if you're really that good, you must be a man. That's also underneath it all.
Yep, for sure.
Or the idea that like you are a woman not fitting into the male gaze.
Mm-hmm.
There's all this shit going on. No, these men are not going through these tests. Okay. Now, the reason that Italian PM Giorgia Meloni, my least favorite Meloni, and I like a lot of Melonis.
Dermot. Oh, he's Mulroney.
Dermot Meloni. Yeah.
Baloney
Exactly.
Maloney. Yeah.
Meloni Servino.
Absolutely. Is she great?
Yeah. So good.
Mighty Aphrodite. Yeah.
Yeah. Maloney
Romy
Brooks.
Maloney and Michelle Maloney. Maloney Brooks. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, so good. The fabulous Maloney boys.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh, they're great.
Love that movie.
Yeah.
What's that movie about? It's just two guys who play piano and then
Who are like, their careers are ending, but then she comes in and makes the careers better. She's excellent in that movie. But
she
that
is good.
Really boring.
But that movie's boring as hell.
Boring as hell.
Well, Giorgia Meloni got involved in the anti-trans choo-choo hate train. Next stop, shitty politician near you. So this is just the one in Italy. It was kicked off when Khelif landed a blow 46 seconds into a match with Italian boxer Angela Carini, who abandoned the fight, dropped her to her knees and cried. And then, so first of all, you're a boxer. You get hit in the face.
Right.
Then you drop down and you cry? I'm just like, I mean, I'm not saying that it didn't hurt, but it's just like, okay, but it was what happened next. So Khelif landed a blow. Her hand was raised to signify her win. Carini didn't even shake it, which is customary. So then all these men crop up to defend Carini, which is like a wasp nest of shit. Like that this woman who's hit in the face in the boxing match needs to be protected. She's a fucking boxer, okay?
Right. That's the gig.
Also, sir, she is a female boxer. Part of the deal is that you get hit in the face.
I mean, it's like the number one thing that happens, I think.
Boxing is hitting people in the face.
Right. Face, stomach, face, stomach.
It's like crying because your bat didn't hit the ball.
Yeah.
The logic doesn't make sense.
I played Mike Tyson's Punch Out like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, you did? And how was it?
Face, stomach, face, stomach. That's
all you do. You know. And then number two, they think that they're doing this whole anti-trans thing where they think Khelif they're claiming this thing about her being a man because he hit a woman that hard. And that's also fucked up because it's like, you think the only person who could hit a woman that hard is a man? That is crazy logic.
Mm-hmm. She's a trained boxer.
They are doing the thing they were trained to do.
And she's in a competition to be the best one.
And let me tell you something. Any of these motherfuckers on the internet want to step to her in an alleyway. Part of their problem is their weak ass ego that this woman's going to come whoop their ass, which I hope she does.
I do too. I hope she kicks all their asses.
I would be like, if I was her, I'd be like, line these motherfuckers up.
Yeah, let's go.
Then, And then J.K. Rowling, of course, got in the fray and said, a young female boxer has just had everything she's worked and trained for snatched away because you allowed a male to get in the ring with her.
She's disgusting.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say this here.
Go for it.
If you are still a Harry Potter fan, you better be buying your shit secondhand used. Do not give this bitch one more $1.
Yeah.
When you buy a brand new Harry Potter thing,
a million Harry Potter books that people have read that can be passed down somewhere.
I want to see a hacker stealing this shit.
Yeah.
And if I do not want her having one more $1.
I know.
Carini apologized and said, I am an Italian. I wear my feelings like a finely tailored Armani suit. No, she didn't say that. She said, I want to apologize to her and everyone else. I was angry, but because my Olympics had gone up in smoke. And then she also said that the controversy about gender in the sport made her sad. And if she was to see Khelif again, she would embrace her. To which I would say, just hop on over.
Ring her up.
You know where she is, baby.
Yeah.
Ring her up. Okay.
I always get so nervous when stuff like this happens that like I'm going to get in an argument with my parents about this, but thank God even they were like, it's disgusting. The way
they did say that. Well, thank God.
Thank God.
That Khelif had to take time out of her premier athlete schedule to make a statement is absolutely gross. This is what she said. I send a message to all the people of the world to uphold the Olympic principles and Olympic charter to refrain from bullying all athletes because this has massive effects. It can destroy people. It can kill people's thoughts, spirit, and mind. It can divide people. And because of that, I asked them to refrain from bullying. I will say that she has been greeted with cheers and Algerian flags when she enters arenas. Now, what her country could do to show their appreciation for their badass boxer is to remove themselves as a member of the Russian IBA because they are still all up in there.
Mm-hmm.
So they should absolutely cut ties with the very organization that started this shit from the first place. I'll take that. Nikki Hiltz, who's a non-binary American runner participating in the Olympics, attributed had this to say.
Shouldn't the name be Nikki Stiltz? You understand if they're runner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just said transphobia is going crazy at the Olympics. Anti-trans rhetoric is anti-woman. These people aren't protecting women's sports. They are enforcing rigid gender norms.
Absolutely.
And anyone who doesn't fit perfectly into these norms is targeted and vilified. Well said. Baby, the binary can go the way of the dodo bird. I'm tired of it. I'm tired.
Me too. I really am. I didn't sleep well last night.
Meanwhile, over in men's volleyball.
Meanwhile.
I've been in Canada. Meanwhile, I've been in Canada. That's how they say meanwhile.
Okay, I love it.
Sorry, I'll do it right. Meanwhile.
Oh, yes, honey. Now we're talking.
Back on over in the fucking men's volleyball arena. Do you know about this?
What's happening there? No, I don't.
Okay. A Dutch team with a guy who sexually assaulted a 12-year-old is playing. He admitted to 3 counts of rape when he was sentenced to 4 years in prison and was released after 13 months.
Great.
The Dutch Olympic Committee said that this player had undergone a specialist treatment program and met the requirements to resume competition after conviction. Oh, nice that he can just continue to do what he loves after committing a crime like that.
Athletes have so much, male athletes have so much privilege. It's unbelievable.
They failed to mention what kind of mental health and support they gave the person he assaulted. And Donald Trump, J.K. Rowling, and Marco Rubio, and Mrs. PM Maloney have been very silent about this. I find it very interesting.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Very interesting.
That is horrible.
A convicted sexual assault.
Now, listen, I will say that other countries in their systems actually are in the business of rehabilitation. But for someone to repeatedly do this after 13 months, that's a joke.
Well, it's like, but he didn't serve his time. And then they said he did a special program.
No, it's bullshit.
This person committed a crime when he was 19.
Mm-hmm.
Did this thing that he admitted to. Nobody cares.
Right.
This other person did nothing. Was just exceptional at her sport.
Right.
And then has to deal with an onslaught of hate.
Right. Exactly. No, that's how it always is. It goes back to such sexism in sports. When you look at, we've talked about pay gaps nonstop between the NBA, the WNBA, even with the killer women's soccer team getting paid versus the loser men's soccer team in this country. Like, it's gross.
It's gross.
Yeah.
I do want to end on an upper. Shout out to Simone.
Oh,
what
absolutely.
a comeback.
And I loved
A
Rebecca
testament.
Andrade. Is that her name?
Yes.
The Brazilian who won?
Yes.
What a fucking story. Walking 2 hours to and from the gym every day.
Yeah.
And she says Simone's my biggest fan and my biggest support.
I mean, women supporting women.
Yeah.
Always here for it. And shout out to Simone for being very transparent about taking care of her mental health. I think that shit spreads.
And shout out to JD Vance for calling her weak for it. More sound bites like that, JD. More
Yeah,
sound
go
bites
for
like
it.
that. Go in on America's sweethearts. Do it, please, begging you.
Put your cat lady gun on whatever.
Finally,
Meow.
something fired Taylor Swift up. I mean, that's the comment that did it, but okay, I'll take it.
Girl. Yeah. Take a strong stance. You have nothing to lose.
I think she will now. I know.
You have nothing to lose.
I know. And by the way, when it comes to this ticket, I just want to say that I don't know much about Tim Walz except for his history on LGBTQ plus issues and legislation. And 10 out of 10. He seems like the most progressive governor of a. He seems even more progressive than his state is. So I would say in the Minnesota context, he's an incredibly progressive governor. So I hope that continues as much as I've read about him.
Their family picture of them, him and his wife and their kids and their dog and cat is the most joyful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I got FOMO about, I know I will never have parents like that.
I know, right? Go get JD.
Go get him. Go get him, Tiger.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
It's come to that point in the show where things take a sharp turn.
Yeah. Should we go into this? This is Apple Podcasts.
Let's do it.
And this is about the littlest hobo. It's 5 stars hobo style.
That's right.
Just jumped back on the pod during a long drive from the San Juan Islands. Maps said 5 minutes to the ferry or a 2-hour walk. That is primo. That is primo Vancouver map shit.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. It couldn't have been a better time, both for PNW content and to relieve political stress. My girlfriend and I finally ordered Diva cups. Thanks for everything.
Wonderful. You know what I love? That's all of that was in one paragraph, which I love. Hollywood 14, hello, says, love, love, love. This podcast is the best. So funny and brings a smile to my face every time I listen.
Thank you for SYL. What do you think that is?
God,
thank you for
showing your legs.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, sharing your laugh. To the woman at the 9:30 p.m. showing of Deadpool and Wolverine at the Springs Theater just outside of Atlanta. Thank you for sharing your laugh. If you hear a woman laughing and you don't go up and say thank you for sharing your laugh, we have done you a disservice on this show.
Absolutely. It's Davey says, where's David Daleiden? This sermon podcast is amazing for that morning commute. Host Hulk Hogan, Kid Rock knows so much about gender issues, LGBT issues, and Canada, and then a high heel. Listen, review us on Spotify, review us on Apple Podcasts, anywhere.
Also, I love that you're having fun on these.
Me too.
Live for it.
Live for it. And then, go to patreon.com/attitudes for Murder, She Wrote, the Vault episode, and the Q&A, among other things. And YouTube, don't forget that.
Thank you for sharing your laugh.
Thank you for sharing your laugh.